I was in a bus on that day, and there was a woman in my front carrying a little boy of 6 to 8 months. And also, there was by my side, there was a woman carrying a little girl. As you know, children must play, but not quite long. An aggressive statement came up from one of the mother saying, no home training, no home training, no manners. She said a lot of things and she concluded, go and train your child. And I began to think, because I knew what happened. I knew what happened. I knew the children were playing. The other boy was having the cake or whatever she was holding that day. He was the one that took his hand to the direction of that little girl, and the little girl was playing along with her before the cake now fell down. But while they were playing, the little boy rubbed the cake on the face or the mouth of that girl, looking as if the girl ate the cake. But for the mother to turn back and discover that the cake fell down, and she does not know what happened, and she could not ask the people behind that was watching after everything. She was backing the boy and she was facing the front, and the boy was trying to like being busy. The boy was focusing on the people behind them. So the whole thing that happened was in my presence, and I saw everything. She would have asked, but that is not even my concerned, because after she said those things, I began to think with the last statement she uttered, that go and train your child. And I could easily remember the Bible verse in Proverbs 22, verse 6, that says, train up your child the way it should go, and when he's old, he will not depart from it. But how are you going to train up a child in the capacity of who you are? When you're saying training up a child, if I must train up my child biblically or as a Christian, in which pattern do we have that we should train up our child? To train up our child, in which direction should we really train up our child? So we have four points as a solution to those questions we've been asking ourselves. I know in those questions we have several answers on how we should train up our child. I know some of us will say, train them in the way of the Lord, the fear of God, train them like this, train them like that, with the ones we have and with the one we know. Or fine, it's good. But I have four good additional ways that we need to add so that it will really help us to have a better world, a better place for every one of us. One of the points is where you stay. One is where you stay. Two is the school they attend. Three is the kind of work you do, which is the parent. And four is your lifestyle. What is the lifestyle of the parent? So I will be answering this for, I'll be explaining these 4 points that we have listed, and it will really help us. Don't belittle these points. Don't take it as I've trained up my child and this and that. But there are a lot of things that we need to do. There are a lot of things that we need to adjust so that it will help us. And intentionally, when most of this thing is occurring or most of this thing is being practicing or happening, we will know like what kind of a new pattern is this. So I will start with number one, where you stay. Where you stay matters a lot in training up your child. It matters a lot. You and I knows that children must play. Children must, meet themselves. It is very, very important for children to meet themselves where you stay. Is except you want to live the whole days of your child indoor. That is, if you have you have your own house, you have your own privacy and all that, you can leave it whichever pattern you want to train them. But if peradventure that due to the situation of things and the kind of place you find yourself, and the standard of the kind of life you live, that you cannot afford to stay on your own in your own house, yes, sorry to say that, congratulations, there is a solution to that. That is not your last bus stop. Even where you stay, maybe it's face me, I face you, or in a busy and a public, in a busy area or noisy area. Congratulations, this video is for you. There's always a solution to every problem. So when you stay matters to train up a child, for those who are staying in a, like, understand the kind of area I'm saying, this video is for you. Yes, if you are staying in such a place, the best solution to handle such an issue is that there are three things that you need to understand. One is there is the aspect of follow up. Two, there is the aspect of undo. Three, there is the aspect of monitoring your child. Now, what do I mean by this point I have listed for where we stay to train up our child is that the places your children plays, the places they buy things, the places they see, the things they do, the people they interact with, and the things they see are things that you cannot control. Unlike those who have their own house, they have the decision, they have the control of how they want the house, the lifestyle of the children to be in their own pattern of what they have designed, what they have built. But if you don't have this, you and I knows that there's a lot of things to do. You need to follow up your child on the aspect of the principle, the teaching, the ideas that you want your child to be trained with. You must have a concept, you must have a taste, you must have a pattern, you must have something that you know this will end up good due to your age and your experience. And don't forget, you cannot give what you don't have. You cannot give what you don't have. And most of the time that you have children that are being trained up in a wrong way is because the parents themselves do not have the pattern of what they have. They just do everything, join everything together, and everything is just going the way to go anyhow, anyhow. They do not have the pattern. But the reason why we're having this video is for us to have a pattern, a concept of how we really want to build our children, build our home. So now you must have a pattern of what you want your children to be in the kind of area, depending on the kind of area they stay. You don't want him to do this, you don't want him to do that, you don't want them to see this. You must have that listed to them. And when you have your list of what you want, you must apply the follow up. The follow up in a sense that when your child goes out there and comes in, you must ask him, what was the whole thing that you did today? How was this? How was that? What did this person say? What did this person? You are not asking this question because you want to make trouble. You are asking because you want to create that relationship with your children. Let him express himself, even though in your own mind you know the reason why you are asking. Or give him the privilege to express himself. Let them tell you what they've been through, the person that spanked them, the person that insulted them, the person that hailed at them, the person that hide them. Those things are nature of life. There are different kind of people everywhere. But for you and I to build a better world, to build a better place for ourselves, when you allow them to talk, it is now time for you to now make corrections, which is the undo. You make corrections, advice, correcting, giving different idea, telling him where he should persevere, telling him where he should forgive, telling him where he should love, telling him where he should be friendly. When you don't not ask because you are living in a poor environment and the way the thing is just like that, you don't ask, you are adding more bitterness to their life. So please, you must do the undo only when you are allowing them to express themselves. And the last one is the monitoring. The monitoring is coming last because everything that you are talking about now is to monitor your child. You have to monitor them. But a lot of people like say, my child, I have told him or I told her to wash plates, to do the domestic work and all that. That is not just the training only. That is not just the major technical training of our child, the way they should go, is what I've listed for you so far. You must engage with them. You must talk to them. You must allow them to tell you what they need, what they've seen, what they've heard. And it is now in your own knowledge to now educate them. Don't forget, You are not doing this to have issue with anybody. You're not doing this to quarrel with anybody. It's just for you to